guys, so welcome to the Degenerate Nation podcast. I'm with Patrice, and hey, say hey, you weirdo.
What's up?
And we were just off mic, we were like, hey, we should do this bit. So the bit that we're not going to do, or we might do, is which straight rock stars would have been best at sucking dick, because we assume they're great at sucking dick because they're good singers, and they're good at voice, throat talent.
Yeah, I think it all comes from the throat, right?
It comes from the throat.
It comes from the throat.
So we're thinking Axl Rose.
Yeah,
Axl Rose
for sure. Chris Cornell.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. See, that's why we didn't do the bit.
And maybe we'll stop it there.
Yeah. Black hole song, won't you come? Won't you come?
Eric Clapton. I bet you Eric Clapton has sucked a dick.
Yeah, but he was in Cream. I mean, it's all the writings on the wall.
In a white room with black curtains, I sucked his dick.
Derek and the Dominoes? That was about blowing.
Derek and the Dominoes?
What were the Dominoes about?
When the first domino falls...
You suck dick.
You suck dick. There's no stopping it.
Vampire voice or like Transylvanian.
Oh, he's like...
Your accents are hilarious.
Thanks, man.
We need like captions that pop up into their ear holes.
Like, this is an attempt.
Just so you know, this is an attempt at this. And then you'll laugh instead of
Portuguese accent. They're
instead of feeling sorry for you.
Portuguese, you say?
Oh, he's good. He's really trying.
Portuguese. I'm getting more Greek.
I'm getting more salvage yard from this.
There's a lot of crossover.
Because I do a lot of salvage yard type voices, but like
salvage
yard? You know what you're getting. Hey, variations of the same fucking voice.
It's the recipe in this.
Because I do like 3 voices. But the best part is that you state what you're doing, and then, either before or afterwards, it sounds nothing like it, and you're like, that was such and such. I was like, oh, really? Oh, that's great. Let's offend that group.
Yeah, I do it for the listeners. Yeah, if there comes a time where they want to fast forward, and it's like, oh, they're like, oh,
fast forward to when's Wendy coming back?
Not this episode. Nope, not this one.
No, we might do one after this. We might do a bad double header. We'll see.
Double header. Make a wetter. Hit a home run, and then I text her.
And wear her sweater.
That my mom died in a car accident.
You texting her about the mom dying in a car accident, or she died in the sweater and now you're wearing the sweater? I'm very confused.
She died in a sweater in a car accident. She was wearing the sweater.
Her ashes are in a Jordache shoe box. Do they make shoes? I meant to say LA Gear.
Shoes? Who?
Jordache. You remember Jordache? That's
Jordache or
not DoorDash? Jordache. It was a brand.
Jordache?
Look it up, man. They were cool.
Is that Jordan's?
This is before your time, man.
Yeah, I mean, anything's before my
Anything
time.
I reference is before anyone's time.
I mean,
it's like
any of our listeners' times.
I have this very specific universe, and it was 1988 through 1996.
Until the year I was born.
Yeah, basically. And then everything just stopped, and I was a depressed teenager that also occasionally got it up for DMX. But culturally, I really didn't absorb anything beyond that besides a few TV shows.
Beyond 96?
Yeah, really.
You're like, the new Star Wars movies? No.
Wildflowers, the Tom Petty album, came out in 94.
Ooh.
Grunge was over by 96, basically.
Yeah, but is there...
A lot of this hip-hop guys died in 97, so they were pretty much died in 96.
Oh, Tupac and
Biggie, yeah, and not that it was huge in them, but I did have a Biggie album.
I couldn't tell you any Biggie's
albums. I remember All I Want Is Hoes, Big Booty Hoes. I'd be playing it down here in this very basement, and this with one of these CD players you see lying around, and I'd be like, All I Want Is Hoes, Big Booty Hoes.
All I want is
better
bitches,
turn that down. But I want to bump that shit, and I want to proudly declare, Mom, Dad,
all I want is hoes, big booty hoes.
And before that,
and what else could
I never thought about big butts before,
yeah.
And it didn't really fully affect me because it was a lyric and not a visual. But you telling me you throw a big booty on there,
you throw a big booty visual on top of a big booty lyric.
How many people came to life, came of age to that Kardashian oiled up booty video? That's so unrealistic, but it was real, right?
I mean,
was it real or was it an altered butt? Regardless,
it's a butt getting fucked.
No, before not the sex tape, but just a picture. It was like a picture in a magazine or something, or online or something, of her oiled up ass, and it was oiled up as fuck. And you're like, how
Like, how
that's art because
what's up, Callie?
It's art. So
sorry,
you can not like someone's personality or their effect on youth culture or like humanity.
Correct.
Like, if you're hating on that ass, you're barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah.
That God made that.
God made that ass.
Okay.
Don't bark up that tree.
That ass is
tree.
A byproduct of OJ getting off.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, so that family tree has done, if you include Bruce Jenner / Caitlyn Jenner, has done 3 of the most amazing things in this society. 1, getting fucking OJ Simpson off. I should have listed that last. 2,
oh fuck, you're right.
Being one of the most famous trans people who also, the only trans person who also won an Olympic medal, a goddamn gold.
And
as
on
Bruce.
top of that, the only transgender person that's beaten out a war veteran for a medal of hero, like a
medal of hero,
a medal of heroicism.
Heroicism for which one?
It was like a Bruce Jenner, whatever,
Caitlyn Jenner, yeah,
got nominated in this category of like, it was like Brave Person of the Year award, and there was like some military vet guy that probably went into a 7-Eleven and choked out 10 people and saved 20 babies, and Bruce Jenner got it for being like, yeah, you know what?
I don't want my dick.
I don't want my dick. I'm gonna chop that shit off. And people are like, you know what? Good for fucking you.
I think though that is something that less people could do. I think both are heroic. I think less people could go from an icon in one fashion as a man, as a biological man or
and
whatever,
then take
if you
that
will, but was a biological woman the
yeah.
whole time. Do this and that, and then be like, you know what? Nah. Because I actually know someone that's trans, and they just, according to Facebook, just got their dick chopped off or chopped. That sounds barbaric.
Surgically removed.
There is nothing barbaric
Procedure
about being a trans
is a little
person
more PC.
and going through that process. Okay, so I didn't mean to say chopped off. It's just the visual is there.
It is.
It's like
I can't not think of it like
right. That. Exactly. Like I don't know what they use to. Do they numb it and use acid? Like,
maybe
do they?
Maybe okay,
where do they chop it off? I said it again.
Maybe they numb it and then they put it in like a little dick guillotine and you
cock guillotine.
It's like
it was like.
And then they let you pull the string, and
you're like
numbed
up, and you're like, no, put your hand here. You're officially going, and it's like a switch turning.
Yeah, and it's like,
and then
maybe this is your chance. Maybe if you but maybe if you did something like that, you'd give yourself. It's like it's your last chance, right? Like maybe you would have a moment of clarity and be like, I really like my dick. Maybe I don't want to do this, or maybe I want to keep my dick and still identify as a biologically. Yeah, maybe
that's gonna be so tough. I feel fortunate of all the issues that I've had that I haven't had the struggle to decide where my body and brain are really taking me and what gender direction.
Yeah, in terms of like sexual identity and gender identity.
Yeah. Like okay, like I definitely am never like I'm a woman. Not I want to be a woman or like I wonder what it'd be like to be a woman. I'm sure people have had that. I wonder how horrible my life would be if I was this other gender instead.
It would be worse.
I really don't think that a lot of men's lives would be better as women, and you can't fully say if you're like in America or England or some other countries that haven't had as much social strife really until in the last several decades, until recently, really. If you think about it, I mean, I'm not saying that's including
South
South Africa.
They haven't had as much as the U.S.
They haven't had as much social strife, like say, like these homogenous countries like Norway and things where
like Switzerland,
any place where socialism could remotely work.
Yeah,
like
in a much smaller country.
In a smaller homogenous. That's the key thing is there's not different like dialects, different skin colors even there.
No, it's like you're
different like physical differences.
No, you're working with like a purebred dog.
A bred dog the same without like a straight up never mixed with anything
it's
else.
Not pure. It's not a mutt.
No.
And that doesn't help. That doesn't.
It made it worse. Piss on the ashes of that.
Sorry,
analogy.
Switzerland. I'm saying Switzerland is like a purebred dude. Labrador. I was gonna say labradoodle. Labradoodle, and it's not. It's not purebred.
A purebred labradoodle. It came from 2 labradoodles. though. So my associate, he see, I said he because it's I only know her transition and her experience through Facebook because like I don't live in LA anymore, and the last time I saw her, it was he.
Yeah.
To me, it was he to me. It was.
That's what
I don't know at what stage she was at in her awareness of. I'm not. I was born with this penis, and I might have been attracted to women, or I am still, or whatever. Yeah. But independent of that, I'm a woman, and that's fucking like, that's unbelievable to go through. I imagine, like
It has to.
I still, with like, as much struggle as I've had with certain things, and maybe you can relate to this as well. Like with mental struggles, like try having that, because guess what comes with that? Some of the stuff that we have.
Yeah, mental struggles.
Yeah. And that's the struggle to acceptance of self. It's fucking. It's So it's like, how do you expect to deal with some of the issues, similar issues, ballpark issues that we have, with when you have this constantly in your head? To be like, nah, man, like. Stop calling me sir. I'm actually this. Like, no, you're not. Like,
yeah, but I'm telling you, that's what I am.
I mean, look how much, like, how hard it is for, like, say some type of artist to be like, no, I'm really, like, really good at this. I'm really an artist. They're like, you haven't proven shit. Like, that's okay, but deep down, you're going to be the next best thing, or like, you're going to tell your truth, or whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah. You're going to have your vision.
And because they can't visualize it. When you look in the mirror, I imagine, as a person that wants to go through a change or has already gone through a change, you'll be like, look,
you're envisioning
what I see is what I want to see, or what I picture is different than what the mirror is reflecting back at me. And I have to live with that day after day after day after fucking day. That has to be really tough.
Yeah, it feels like an uphill battle.
Yeah, look how people like in their 30s are still picking their pimples. It's like you're like little minor physical things that pale in comparison to.
Yeah.
You were born with certain parts that don't conform to what you actually want to have, or what you feel that you do or you should have. You're like, I'm up here, and then you look down and you're like, what the fuck is this? Mm-hmm. And it's like you can't control it. You have to first, like, I don't know, like, accept it before you can really change it or get rid of it. Is like acceptance before anything else. And
because then if you don't accept it, then I mean, you're prolonging like the inevitable, right? Like you're gonna have to accept it or tackle that issue at one point in time.
Yeah, I gotta reach out to them. Just like, hey, how'd it go?
And
like I saw a Facebook ad.
Yeah, like, you should.
Yeah, like, and not you to holler at me, man. I mean, god damn it! It's like I say man to girls sometimes, or
it's like holler at me.
I don't say lady to you.
You're like, hey,
it's just like so hey man or hey dude.
I mean, girls even do that with each other.
Yeah, bro. But I'm like, what do I say? What nomenclature I say, like in a casual mention to like show affection?
To be honest, that's why people state, like, I understand why people state their pronouns. Like, you're trying to skirt that issue.
Yeah, I just don't. I think that, like, if you have a different,
like, I think it's kind of annoying.
Desire.
Yeah.
The annoying thing is people that don't go through this, drawing attention to themselves by saying what pronoun they are. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Her, she, like.
Good.
Yeah. Good okay. I didn't. There was nothing about the way you carry yourself, either like in person or online, that makes me think you're questioning.
That you'd be anything different.
The Q is actually for questioning in LGBTQ. I think it's not queer. It's
I thought it was for quinoa.
Quinoa. It's quinoa. No, like quinoa's good, by the way. I kind of like. You probably like it in your 30s. Anyways. It's a thing to do in your 30s.
It doesn't agree with my stomach. I've tried it.
I'm trying to go down on relative strangers and eating quinoa are things you do in your 30s.
People tell me I'm old for my age all the time.
You got to also expand your age group. U and B, like go for older women.
Hey, man,
that's what's up.
If she falls within the LGBTQ, and
she's not gonna be interested in you if she's probably questioning. She's not gonna like that. Cis guy is what?
No, I'm saying if she's into quinoa, then maybe I have a chance.
Yeah, we couldn't go so far without being not progressive, but like compassionate. No, but like it's that those pronoun the pronoun thing only irks me when it's someone that is what they say cis and what they say straight.
Cis is
identifying or feeling the need to point that out as if they're drawing attention to the some movement rather than just to fucking drawing them attention to themselves. Because they're drawing fucking attention to themselves.
It's a
I'm
selfish.
sorry.
It's a selfish reason.
You can say, look, I support. You know, like, hey, just so you know, like, one of the things that I'm into is I support the rights of trans or this and that or anything, and that's cool. You should be able to state your values this is kind of, I'm bringing dating into this a little bit, but like when you're like swiping through the things, there's only so much you can take, like information.
Yeah.
And some of this information you have to make like snap decisions based on, or else you can slow down your. Totally. It's going to slow down your decision engine, which will slow down virtually everything else. Correct. It's a very complex piece of machinery.
Yeah. Okay. And you got to keep up with it.
You got to oil up. You got to lube up.
Fucking
that. The only time I support
that bitch.
Like defaulting to lube is when you're oiling your machine up.
Your
decision.
You got to pump your machine.
Prime that decision engine, that pump.
Prime the pump.
And when they're
for
like,
the machine,
when they're
get them gears turning, that bitch is gonna be me. Prime the pump for the machine.
You're just like introducing yourself to someone. Okay, all right, fuck this. This is mostly geared at straight women on apps. Your first impression. Fuck a photo, right? Your first impression is things that like social movements you support. Who's swiping based on that? Who?
Realistically,
we're swiping. People are swiping left on that because they're going to be like, this person inherently cares more about, I would argue, how they are perceived as caring about other people than they do about finding somebody that cares for them and that they can in turn care for.
Correct.
Or they're just not very bright and they think like we cis males or cis females or with men, we're gonna have to contact a friend who's on apps that's a female, that's a straight female that could tell me if guys are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
If there's an equivalent of the pink hats for the guys.
And if I had to guess, I would say there's not.
No, but they're butchering their things with less noble things like a dead fish or like this and that.
Stupid, yes.
Like workout photos. At least you can like men will be. You have some, right?
I had one on for a little bit.
A workout photo.
But
you got a skydiving one.
It's gotta be. I'm sorry, I'm having fun.
No, but people do that.
What, cliche?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
I think so. But
yeah, but at least you at one point had an adventure.
So tell me this: have you seen? And this thought crossed my mind on the same note of like, you're trying to draw attention to yourself and proclaim, these are my
virtue.
pronouns.
It's not virtue signaling; it's virtue swiping.
Yeah, it is virtue swiping. What I have yet to see, and I'm sure it's next to come if we're going to follow the same pattern we've been following, is people posting like, people on some day over the summer, it was like July or August, put a black profile picture.
What does that mean?
It was for like black, you're showing black pride by putting straight nothing. Like you're posting nothing. It's just black.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for that to come to dating apps and have people's things be like if your thing's not black,
I've seen it.
You're not with it. Like it's pretty.
I've seen it. I've seen something similar.
If we're gonna follow the hive mind,
or like the background when there was a shooting in France several years ago, and there's a French background's
if everyone's
dude, that was 3 weeks ago. We're way past that.
Come on,
we don't care about that anymore.
Waiting for the next
Why is that on your app still? Why are you still presenting yourself as someone who cared about that shooting from 3 weeks ago?
It's the same thing.
In another country. It's
like I can understand maybe if you're lazy and you
can't fuck that.
No.
I mean, that's what we're thinking. Okay, so women, if you're out there,
that's the point.
We're thinking. The point of the app is to get fucked, or like to make a friend, or both.
The point of the app is not to be like, oh, good, look, I found someone that really cares about black rights.
Yeah.
That's your only criteria.
There are probably apps for that, or there should be.
But that's your only criteria.
We need to program these things. Like,
we do, man.
People that have similar values finding each other so they can talk about how they have these great values.
They have one. It's called Christian Mingle.
Christian Mingle. It's gonna catch on. I'm on it.
Farmers only.
I pay for it. It's gonna catch on. I'm not a Christian.
No, but
I'm not a farmer, but I'm trolling. Okay, can I have a confession? I was on J-Swipe. Not J-Date, J-Swipe.
What's J-Swipe?
It was a Jewish Tinder. I didn't meet anybody. Indeed.
Shabbat shalom.
I'm admitting this on Good Friday that I was on. Happy Good Friday, by the way.
Yeah, you treacherous Jew.
Yeah.
Oh, God, we should call you Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, like, don't take my word for it, ladies. I fucking I'm a stowaway on, like, religious-themed dating apps because I'm so fucking lonely. But you're fucking, like, a stowaway, a swiping stowaway. This is fucking, like...
You're just there for, like...
No, it's like, are you Jewish? No, but I like Jewish girls. Or something. I can say that, but it's like, are you fetishizing me? But they don't say that because I didn't talk to anybody.
But the thing with Jewish girls is, I have a family member that's going through this thing right now. Unless you're Jewish, yeah, sure, you can date and you can finagle and have fun, but like you can't get married. There's no like getting over that.
That's their
fault.
Like,
it is. They've limited themselves to one religion.
That's their issue.
Yeah.
My issue is I'm gonna drink the milk until the udder is no longer providing milk for me, and then I'm gonna find another udder. Like if your values indicate that I can only be with someone of this faith or background,
then
your values are fucked up.
Detached, okay? Going to the next.
I'm not saying like let's all go for everyone that has completely different look or different socioeconomic status or different this and that.
No, nothing like that.
It can be tough to cross streams in certain things, but like the values, like religious based anything, like choosing me based on that. Granted, I get along with lapsed Catholics, but I think that's because those are called rational people. They're like people that are like just like hanging on barely to the Easter and Christmas. And have family members that are involved in Catholicism.
I think that is
the smartest, sexiest.
You think so?
Most, like, aware of their own faults and fucked up, like, people that there are.
I actually...
honestly, like, I'm not disparaging anyone for having, like, more... Jesus spilled his, like, caffeine drink that we're drinking at, like, 9:50 p.m.
Sorry.
Like, because I would put myself in that category.
I would, too. And you know
like,
what?
We're aware of our faults, and when you become so aware of them, ultimately you're like, oh man, what if I tried to work on them? You know?
Yeah.
Like, what if I tried to, like...
What if I actually tried to do something about that?
Yeah, you get to a better place. You do. And that's why there's something sexy about that type of thing. Oh, I'm this, but I was that. Oh, that's why you're this. You didn't just have nothing and program with no values.
No,
you had certain religiously based values that you accept and others you reject. And that's called being a rational, accepting person who can still admit that there's some form of humanity that requires some semblance of a hope or of spirituality, right?
Yeah.
But it comes with a sex drive because you're like fucked up. Because you're like a normal human drive, but also you have this weird thing about guilt and this and that.
So there's
there's a little more. That's why I think that like you might be less lapsed than you think. You might be like deep in Catholicism secretly, because you went to Catholic school.
Why? How?
I don't know.
Sorry.
Anyone that could not have like greater ambition to the whole or whatever that I've seen in the last several. Not several years, only knowing you a little bit, but
you probably know me what 2 years at this point.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I would have thought you would have soured on masturbation sooner.
I don't even masturbate. I don't even masturbate that much anymore. I don't go out and get it done. And it's, you know what? I'm not saying you're wrong in terms of, I can't lie or try and
I'm very hard to lie to.
Or try and actually, you're not.
I know, you said I'm gullible, but that's
what I'm saying is I wouldn't attribute it to me being still like hooked in the Catholic faith. I think there's a plethora of other things that you could probably partially attribute it to. A couple front runners for the main contributors, and it's not religion.
What is it?
I couldn't tell you, but sure as hell isn't religion.
No, I'm not saying like you have low ability or low like, potential of it. It's more like ambition to the whole in various, like, just to get to like assert your dominance or assert your presence in that type of context, whether it's healthy or not. I think yours is healthier than mine, but in many ways,
I don't
and
know,
in some ways not.
Healthy's a bit of a spectrum, right? Like it's a vague term.
I think that's true. I think the the positive aspect. That one tastes like tenders.
I think there's other things like sex. People we want to have sex because it's an innate thing. There's a sex drive. Mm-hmm. There's a pleasure center attached to it, and it's just hardwired into us as an organism. But I don't like. There's other things I'd rather do. I think in my day than like
play video games.
No, but I think there's a couple thoughts that come in a progression before it's like sex. Sex will, and it's like
what comes before it?
But here's what I'm going to say.
I'm just curious because it's different.
I'm going to explain.
Okay, cool.
There's not always a set position for sex, just for me. I think it's fluctuating. My sex drive is very, like, intermittent and spastic. And I think maybe because I'm on meds and I have, like, I'm just a fucked up individual.
You're not a fucked up individual because you're on
meds. I think meds, there was a comma, and there's a comma there. It's an Oxford comma.
It's more like you're on meds because someone has deemed, whether it's you or other or professionals, has deemed it a necessity or a temporary necessity, one or the other.
Period.
Yeah.
In addition to this, I'm also a fucked up individual.
I was on Prozac and Lanzapine, which is Zyprexa, I think. A combination.
I don't think
I popped boners for like months. I didn't give a fuck.
My boners here. I still. I think
I was still swiping though a little bit. It was
good.
It was like
you can't change it.
You ever seen Breaking Bad?
Yes.
You remember there was a thing with Jesse's. I won't spoil the thing that leads him to do this, but he's like on the phone just playing an old voicemail from someone.
No, but damn it. I'm following.
Yeah, follow. So it's like this like thing that's like almost like a resigned compulsion, a resigned compulsion. He's still doing something. That person has died.
I do it with Reddit. I do that. I do it.
Okay, Reddit. I remember telling a girl today, like, it's just like, hey, or it was like it wasn't a breakup email because we already broken up once, but like it was like, hey,
a breakup email.
No, God damn it. It was like
have you sent a breakup email before?
Oh, probably.
I've sent breakup texts.
Yeah, I've gotten every version of.
Have you done a breakup?
To me.
Have you done a breakup Facebook status?
No, I'm not fucking monster.
That was my lowest point.
I'm not a fucking monster.
That was like my first official breakup.
I hung out with this girl. I mean, I wouldn't say went out. We went to a Chick-fil-A. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Chick-fil-A. We just had it tonight.
Yes,
it was delicious. And she told me at Chick-fil-A that she was engaged and the guy like broke up with her over Facebook, like just deleted her on Facebook or something. Yeah,
just deleted.
And I was just like, "How's your Tinders?" I was like, "Jesus Christ, I'm not seeing you again." It was like because I was thinking like this is just gonna be some thing. Maybe we'd hang out, maybe we'd fuck.
Yeah, that was your so. You're telling me when you learn this information, your next thought wasn't I want to go
like,
finger bang this girl.
Easy fuck. It was like I'm too depressed to fuck this person now. Not because of the Chick-fil-A, but when you add Chick-fil-A to the story, it sounds more depressing, even though Chick-fil-A is a happy place.
But Chick-fil-A also makes me like a little heavier. It makes me feel like almost like tired, groggy after I eat it. Yeah,
that would have been great to just get a blowjob with her.
Oh my god!
Imagine dude. Like right in my car, like in daylight at a parking garage.
Sandwich?
After we both had Chick-fil-A, and she told me about her horrible breakup. That was just so passive aggressive, like as of a breakup.
And what if you're still eating it while she's?
Oh god, I'm like eating waffle fries, and she's
and you're like, and you stop her. You're like, can you pass me that Chick-fil-A sauce?
She just stops in the middle, and I just like, that's okay.
I only have 4
do you want me to hold you? You know, it's like,
are you okay? Like,
the fucked up part was like, I think going into it, I was like, you know what, whatever this is, I'm not gonna take it seriously, and I'm gonna downgrade what we might have gone to flirt somewhere,
this is
drink.
After, this is your before.
Okay. I just had a feeling. About this, and sometimes when I have a feeling, I attach being cheap to it as well. So I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna do spend $30. because I don't have any serious bone in my body about this, but I'm still gonna go through with this interaction
just to see how it goes.
Downgrade / pivot, if you will, maybe upgrade even to Chick-fil-A.
Oh, me, and Friends
then
reference.
yeah, and no, that's the only thing I like about Friends. That is funny. I just think that my instincts were sound, and maybe more than half the time I've gone out with someone, something really deflating happens. So like I don't know. It's like I think when I think of like, oh, I hope I don't push Patrice too much in that direction, like to like, hey, you got to get out there. I'm not saying it because it's great or that it's awful. I'm just saying like you got to develop this. Tom Petty called it Rhino Skin. There was a song Rhino Skin, really good song. And you need to have some form of tough skin, so that if you don't know that you have it in this context, you need to develop it, because it's sometimes you're just left with scraps, and you have to like, you should know that it wasn't always like that, and if you're too picky, too highfalutin yourself, or you're on the side, or you're just flat out on the sideline because you thought, like, oh, I like other things right now, or like, maybe when I get my stuff together, like, no, man, it goes without you, and you're in scraps. You're taking women to Chick-fil-A, and they're telling you they got left behind, and that's 6-7 years ago. So just think of what could have happened, or what has happened to me since then, or what will happen to me as I remain a single man into my 40s.
So you're saying I have until I'm 30?
No, I'm just saying, like, you go and like fail. Go out and fail.
I know
because you're learning and have a better like approach than I did, and a better outlook, because you're much further along in the self, I guess, acceptance, or self, like, knowing
Loathing?
that what
loathing.
I don't know. I was pretty good at that.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at
You have more to loathe. I was just like irrational. You're like, you have things to loathe,
Yeah,
that's
it's like,
fine.
come on, I want to loathe.
Well, you have a bigger family, so you have more. They have more pressure on you.
I got
you
more.
have a bigger family.
Dude, you think you have problems? I got fucking problems.
There's more people you feel you got to keep up with, or whatever the fuck.
I hate that.
I was the older sibling, and you're the baby, right?
I am the baby.
Yeah.
Baby boy. He doesn't know what he needs anymore. He's gonna go out that front door. Maybe hop in front of a train, looking to just get it over with, because he's unhappy.
You would do a train?
No, fuck no, dude. I'd skydive. I'd skydive and not pull the chute.
That's better.
Or I'd OD.
Actually, OD.
I'd probably OD. It would. I mean, it fits the narrative, right?
It does fit the narrative. It's like, it's just. It's not something
I wouldn't
you see
want
coming.
to be honest, I wouldn't want to. I'd probably.
Men are meatheads. Even when they're like punching out, we're such meatheads. They were like, "We're gonna explode!" Right? I'm gonna explode. Like, I'm literally going to explode. Not just like.
Is that how you want to go?
Like, finally, I'm making an impact. Is got to be somewhere in someone's head, right? Like, this violent act
is gonna
finally do. I'm finally gonna matter.
I'll have an impact on this world,
and the only thing that matters is your little brain matter all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck?
Wow.
Why do we think like that? It's like it's the darkest impulse to destroy, and we have to push that out.
But that is coming from a place of like a want to belong, of a need, or an intrinsic need for connection.
It's like the video for Jeremy, Pearl Jam. You ever seen that when he's like the dude like?
I know the song.
The song in the video, he like comes in. He like, it's not shown explicitly because like there's an edited version that actually aired on MTV. But he like blew his brains out or whatever in front of his classmates, and it's like that the need to belong. That just made me think of that. Just like, why do people have to like? What sick impulse is it to like want to be heard and even if it's in the darkest fashion.
Yeah.
Look at these people that want to be influencers, want to be like a blogger, this and that.
Yeah.
Me, writing, podcasting, like
yeah, exactly.
It's something like it's like, oh my god, I think I have something to say, or like I have feelings that something has to get out of me.
I want to contribute, right? Like
exactly.
I need to make something.
And I had gone out with someone recently, and it was like I mentioned what the fuck? Oh, that I was never much of a joiner.
Okay.
You know, like I'd prefer to start something
than just like hop in.
Than like join. I just don't. It never works. It never really fully clicked for me. You know?
I know what you mean.
And so I don't know, when I hear about some horrible news story, I can think and rationalize why the person did something.
Yeah, I can too.
I can feel, obviously I feel for victims. I'm not a fucking lunatic.
No.
But I'm like, like this person, like this could have been prevented by many people.
Yeah, that's what. And
instead it's like we have these useless quotes from people that barely knew the fucking guy. Oh, in high school he was like, that was 7 years ago. Yeah, or even if they're 20, that was still 3 years ago. Like a lot can happen.
What do you know about their thought process leading into?
What do they? And it's like, what did they know about their thought process?
Yeah,
without citing the story and giving any credence to it, there was something that they talked about their family like didn't really know about something, or like knew about something and didn't really do anything about it. It's like, are you fucking serious? Like, do you care about your family member?
Yeah.
Like.
You're gonna let that happen, and then
hurts. Like to hear about, like I have like
it does.
I know people that like some kids we worked with have like the little not things that are like introductions to problems down the road.
Yeah.
And I will like, man, I wish like I could stay in this person's life and be like, yo, this is how it is, man. You know? Yeah. And it's like you want to befriend them, and that's why I know like we're doing like a good job, because we have the impulse to want to impart wisdom, even if it's not that wise. It's better than nobody doing anything. You know, that's why
like be better off, and they would have rather you done that.
So there's the kid that in our program that has some form of or case of autism, and I just give him tough love like all the time.
Yeah,
I don't treat him hardly any differently. I'm a little bit more patient about certain things, but I'm like, yo, bro, like you're like, hey, you gotta listen, or you gotta what are you doing? He'd be like, and then he responds well to it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I hope his parents do that, because like he
could be better off, and if you're not.
Yeah, he's unique compared to someone that doesn't have that challenge. But guess what? He's not super unique to other people that have that challenge.
Yeah.
He's not alone.
No, not at all.
You know, and it's like you gotta like get him socially matters more than anything else to him, or a kid like that, or an adult like that, because if they're not around people that care, they're not going to know how to reach out to other people and get past that. They're not
going to know how to operate.
Yeah, any type of social operations is what makes life good. It's not making money, because you could teach somebody to make money.
Exactly.
Or but to be more independent. Yeah, okay. But what about teaching them to like get better results out of the relationship they already have?
Yeah, like
and
to
not like
improve what you already have.
To not want to seek that out in strangers as much. And that's not only referring to people that have like.
Yeah, but it's
like autism or anything on a spectrum,
you're just steering them in a good direction.
No, a different thing entirely we talked about earlier. Trans is like, you gotta like, if someone presents as having a case that's different than the average folk,
they're gonna need a little more attention. They're gonna need a little
more encouragement, but also not like in like, ooh, yeah. No. You know, they're not a fucking puppy. No, they're a human being.
Yeah, they need help. They're slightly different. You know, identify what they're different in, adjust the way you interact with them,
find a strength,
expectations, and you know.
But like this dude he's good at video games, but it's like that doesn't fucking help. Get him coding.
That does
he's
nothing.
in 3rd grade. He could do shit.
Yeah,
like this guy. That dude's capable of shit. I tell his dad like he likes playing basketball. I'm like, he sucks at it,
but he likes it.
He shoots it underhand. But I was like. Yeah, let him keep. If you take him to a park, I was like, yo, if you take him to a park or something,
he's shooting underhand 3rd grade.
Well, he's not that strong. It's a taller hoop. It's like what we shoot at. So I was like, yeah, just have him keep shooting that way until he gets a little stronger.
Yeah.
Because you want the most important thing is to be able to see the ball go in the hoop and be encouraged about liking the. It's a thing that is so fun you can play his whole life.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I just want to. You know, it's like fucking like Catcher in the Rye or some shit. You know, it's like That's why when I read that book, partially on the toilet, when I reread it...
I never really liked that book.
I bet you'll like it now. You'll probably fucking cry. No, like, reading it a second time?
Yeah.
Or third time, or whatever it would be for you? I think I did.
Yeah.
Because I read it, like, shortly after I moved back from Los Angeles.
I've only cried in a couple of books.
Which books?
Marley and Me was one.
Oh, yeah, it's a dog. You've had dogs, yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 dogs.
What was the other one?
I cried, it was when I was in... This isn't helping my earlier point. It's when I was in Catholic school, and
the Bible?
No, not the Bible. It was a book about the life of Saint Isaac Jogues. He was my confirmation.
Oh, did you read it as you were going through that process, or before or after?
I read it after I picked his name.
Isaac.
Yeah.
Cool. Isaac Jones, you said?
Isaac Jogues.
Isaac Jogues. That's a cool fucking name.
Jogues. I don't know. I thought it was a cool name. He got fucking tomahawked in the back of the head by some Native Americans. He was trying to
convert,
or not convert, but just preach and like help. Like, to be honest,
help.
Kind of both. But
saying
a lot of these,
that their lifestyle was wrong.
A lot of these priests that were sent over into the New World were like, didn't really like. They didn't have a choice.
They didn't have a choice or much direction.
Well,
it's like
they didn't really have a choice because
that's fascinating.
Well, yeah, some of them they had made the decision to become a priest, join the Brotherhood, gone through the process, and if you're assigned, like you get assigned somewhere, and if you get assigned to go over there, you got to fucking go, and so you're there, and if you're that priest, you're just trying, like, you joined the Brotherhood for a reason or whatever, like you're trying. To send your message in the best way, and it's like you're over there, you have no other choice.
Did you see like any remote irony in picking someone that was like had a utterly useless fate because he was converting people that had their own intrinsically different spirituality?
I do now.
Like
I think it's
that
wild.
When he was doomed, and like just as your experience within the faith was doomed, you had
language barrier, new world, new diseases.
You had arguably the perfect
no electronics.
No electronics. You had you had arguably the perfect saint, or whatever. Or was he a saint?
Yeah.
Why? Because he got tomahawked. What did he do to deserve to be a saint? He got tomahawked by a Native American.
Well, no, there's got to be a couple of miracles that happen.
You know what would be a miracle? Getting someone getting someone to be Catholic when they're like a Native American. When they have like arguably more established relationship with faith, right? They believed in, I don't know like the specifics of every tribe.
Yeah.
Fill me in.
Yeah, shout out. Please don't listen to this podcast.
No, never tell him we have a podcast.
No.
He will listen and he will find it and he will feel horrible about himself. And he probably already does, and we don't want him
to.
You were thinking, what if we invite him on?
No.
Is that what you're thinking?
No, my thought was a lot more dark, and it was a little more realistically. What if we were like the catalyst for him to like...
No, not that. No, he's fine.
On this Native American thing.
Yeah, like...
With St. Isaac Jogues, no, I'm just thinking of... Like, the people, like, the review board that, like, look at, like...
The Saint Review Board? He's like, yeah, he died. He's dead.
They're like, all right, and next up on the docket, here we got...
it's got to be more accurate than the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right?
We've got St. Isaac Jogues. And let's see what he went. Holy shit! He converted 3 Native Americans. Dude,
Three Native Americans?
Dude,
without gunpowder?
We expected this guy to die within the first 3 weeks. It said he's been over there for 2 years. He's converted 3 Native Americans. He had sex with one. He got tomahawked in the back of the head.
And he's in.
All right, fucking first ballot.
Saint Hall of Fame for getting tomahawked, trying to convert people.
The Saint Review Board.
Yeah, Saint Review Board. The fucking people of... They already had a fucking belief system. And it wasn't a belief in nothing, okay? So... And there wasn't in
the land.
Yeah, there wasn't an inherent power dynamic. As stupid as it sounds, right? As stupid as anything sounds to an outsider thing, unless you've been like groomed.
Oh man, you sound like such a hippie right there. That was great.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah. No, but like, what the fuck, a saint? You picked that guy? That guy, really? The saint?
We're talking about saints.
You want to talk about saints?
We're talking about saints.
He just didn't do anything. He's a failure.
He went over for like 25 or 30.
Failure. Do you remember what tribe he was with?
That just got he got a free pass, man. Like, dude cheated the system.
Maybe this is just a hypothetical.
I don't remember.
Maybe there's not that many people that deserve to be a fucking saint.
Yeah, maybe.
And so they just
just calling someone a saint is
like Mother Teresa. Yes.
Mother Teresa was pretty fucking she made some really shaky decisions towards the end of her life.
What'd she do?
She was all about helping the sick. She would refuse to let camps of sick people have access to vaccines and legitimate medical attention. She was no, we're
God'll do it.
It's we're just gonna keep praying.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm dead serious, man. She doesn't. I'm and the thing is,
we're shitting on Mother Teresa.
It's gotten to that point me inside because my mom and my grandmother love Mother Teresa, and when I learned about it,
Did you tell them? Or
no,
you're that's good. That's
it, you know. It hurt me
you know what? You know what that qualifies you for? Being a fucking saint. No, because you had a piece of information that its sole existence or purpose is to strike her down.
Yeah, to make me right.
They're Luke Skywalker, and you're the Emperor,
yeah.
And you're or you Vader or whatever.
And it's
I will strike you down. And you're oh, by the way, Mom, at dinner or something.
Yeah,
Mother Teresa was a horrible person. Or she was
I thought you were going to say she was a whore.
It was a whore. It was a cunt.
Mother Teresa was a whore. She was going around to those bedsick kids, and she was sucking their dicks.
No, but who is a real? See, even that doesn't qualify. What about Martin Luther?
Not Martin Luther King, but a saint, man.
Yeah, he hung with whores.
Yeah, he was raw dogging Mary Magdalene, bro.
Yeah,
fucking spiking that ass.
Okay, when you found out, did they tell you in Catholic school or is it CCD? Well, they told you almost the exact time when Jesus died. And did you ever think about? Have we ever talked about this?
Dude, I've thought about Jesus' death a lot.
Yeah, all the time.
It's really weird. It's so the images are so forced into your
while you're wiping your ass
cortex,
or while you're at church. And you're rare times you're at church.
I wonder.
You're trying to open that fucking granola bar for that kid, and you're Jesus got slaughtered, dude.
I'm man, I wonder how long his adrenaline kicked in before, or stayed kicked in before he started feeling the pain. Well, no, because all the blood is draining from your body.
Really? I knew it. I knew you'd have an answer.
The last place it would go would be your dick.
Because they call I told somebody I think they believed me too, because I was when you have this is true, this part's true, but not the second part. When you are getting hung, your blood rushes to your area, your genitals, and you die with it.
You die,
and that's why that's why they call it being hung.
No,
and they believe me.
Fuck out of here!
Yeah,
no,
but look it up. Look up the hangman's
or the hangman's the hangman's tail, because it's a fucking tail and it's bullshit.
No. It actually happens.
No.
Okay, you know how?
What is it? What's your source? Is it Wikipedia,
you know how was it
or WebMD?
One of the Carradines, David Carradine died or whatever, or the guy from fucking InXS.
Oh, yeah?
Hutchins?
Yeah.
He died masturbating with a noose around it.
Well, yeah, it's for asphyxiation.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to kill himself.
No, I know. It actually... That's why do you think they do it? They can't breathe and then get a...
Okay, so...
Don't go... Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
My thought process of analyzing this is... Someone probably because someone probably found him dead 2 minutes later, and it's whoa, man, he's
rigor mortis.
Look at that boner, dude. Whoa, we should say that when people get hung, man, they get fucking hard-ons.
That's true.
We should start a rumor, dude. And we can spread it.
Crucifixions are different. They do not. You think do not get hard from crucifixions?
I think Jesus. You know what? I think the people that created the Bible or created the story of Jesus, because someone created the story of Jesus.
They just created the legend of Jesus.
The legend,
my thoughts, but he was real. As a person,
maybe up in the air.
No, he's up in the air. Up in what air?
Up in the air. He's up in the air with George Clooney in the fucking movie.
The cloud.
No, my thought is the people that created this this image of Jesus,
amorphous concept of Christianity,
and they're recounting they're all right, well, how are we gonna fucking kill this guy? Let's put him on a stick. It's 2 sticks. One's longer, one's sideways. All right, he's gonna be hanging. We'll stab him with nails. And then here's the kicker: to prove he's dead to people, because for some reason they don't believe a guy that has 4 nails impaled through his body is dying.
Yeah.
We're going to stab him in the side of his fucking stomach, and you know what's going to come out? It won't be blood. It'll be water. And we'll tell people, look how holy this guy is. We stab him. He's not even bleeding. It's water. Water comes out of his stomach.
Did someone try to, like, fill up their bottle? That's where Aquafina comes from.
Aquafina.
Dasani.
For the best of tastes.
Dasani.
Straight from the tap of Jesus Christ.
Straight from Jesus' lungs.
Have you sinned today? Refresh yourself with a nice cup of Jesus Christ. Find yourself a
saint that converted 3 Native Americans, banged one, and got killed with a tomahawk. Was it actually a tomahawk?
It wasn't tomahawk.
Oh my God!
Is there like a Native American term for tomahawk? Like
it's just
like the white men clubber or something?
I don't know. Like, I feel like they were using it on each other before the white man came around. Now they're like, you know what thing we're using to hoe the land? What if we?
Your accent's so great.
What if we fucking kill whites with it? It's better. It's not bad.
Stick that we use to.
Yeah, that's not bad. Like, see, it comes a little bit more naturally when you're not like doing something from like Saudi Arabia in your case, or whatever you were doing last time. It's so funny.
When white men,
you do an accent, I immediately start laughing and thinking like someone listening in another country. These listeners are coming from somewhere.
This has been a great episode, in my opinion. Just as towards the end of the episode, just a little taste, sprinkle them in for the listeners. Let's do a little activity where you say a country.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, come on.
You're not doing horrible accents.
No, give me a couple.
I'm only going to do white ones.
If we set it up to be, they're going to be bad accents and there's no other motive.
Scottish.
It's okay. Fuck you. Give me a fun one. Okay.
No, they're fun. They're fun like fucking Scrooge McDuck. I'm not going to give you a non-white one because you're white.
I be Scottish. I'm Scottish, and my name is Patrice, and we're on the Scottish podcast.
That's not bad. It's pretty decent.
It's alright.
Someone would fall for it.
I think I may be able to tell you I'm from Edinburgh.
I could do like the evil billionaire, so.
Which one? Are you saying that?
German.
Is the German one?
See, this is German. We only speak like Germans.
That is the German one.
No, like, you have a different, like, yours like
there are different dialects
yours
in Germany.
Like I wear lederhosen and this woman beats me with a stick kind of thing.
I've had a lederhosen.
And mine's more like I'm controlling a multinational underground corporation type of thing, and I'm plotting out eugenics type of voice. Okay. Not eugenics, but like robot eugenics. Robot eugenics. Okay. Like deciding like
what would it be,
like if you read cyborgs. Have you ever read Brave? Have you ever read Brave New World?
I've read The Braveheart.
It's very cross.
Yeah, but it's not the original.
Well, the Brave New World, they like dilute the blood. It's a scientific.
Brave New World.
No, the book is fucking awesome, man. Scientific. Aldous Huxley wrote. It's scientific like technocracy is the wrong word, but it's like
did you just say technocracy?
Technocracy. It's a technocracy. The government.
Are you saying it's technology?
The state controls like birth and death and like families. There's no family. They dilute the blood to put social classes.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's necessarily. That's not
eugenics.
It's not eugenics. It's a cousin. Yeah. A cousin to eugenics.
They're related.
And like I feel like that's what I would do, but with robots.
With the robots.
With cyborgs, there are cyborg.
Would you just say like maybe
cyborg theorists, cyborg drillists who drills the earth for minerals.
Drills the earth, and then maybe we have the cyborg daycare workers who maybe watch the.
We're gonna be replaced by someday. We're gonna be like. We don't move forward. I don't sell anything.
No.
You decide that you're still going to be in school forever.
And maybe I start drinking again.
You start drinking again, and we are replaced by the robots that are...
Maybe I try drinking one time, and I say, okay...
Epiphen is next. Upsilon. The Upsilon robots are the daycare workers. Like, have you... Besides me, you can be honest, have you encountered anyone in our travails that is a worker or a boss or someone beneath us, one of the high schoolers that has anything resembling a spark of a flame? in your 10 years of working with
kids?
I'd
probably like eine zwei, like 1 or 2, maybe.
Ein, zwei, drei?
1, 2, or maybe 3.
Yeah, like I feel like maybe one of the high schoolers had like something not for life. Like you thought that they were gonna maybe go places.
I don't like to be like
I forgot her name
to an extent, but to be honest, and I think we are probably outliers in the sense, but almost every person that I've encountered that has worked for the Y, with the exception of people that work like in administration, like they,
I was kind of counting them.
They always like everyone aspires to be somewhere else, but like I don't know if that's a Y thing or the organization we work for.
You mean aspires to be somewhere else like, within the organization, or like outside?
Aspires to be like doing something else.
What did our former boss aspire to besides OnlyFans?
I was gonna say just be a homewrecker whore, but that's OnlyFans. So
I mean, like, it's like, it's funny. Like, people
also OnlyFans, if you'd like to sponsor us,
please sponsor us. OnlyFans is like we've talked with OnlyFeet. Only shaft.
Feet, only shaft.
Only balls.
I would.
Let me see your feet. Let me see one of your feet.
I don't. Yeah, you don't need to see that. I have a bad foot.
Don't show me the fucked up one. Show me the good one.
Okay. But what about like?
I want to look at. I'm gonna be honest about your feet. I'm gonna be honest about your feet.
Okay, but do you want full frontal or what?
Full toes.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at it.
Christ. They're okay. I mean, I wouldn't put feet pics out.
You'd have to grip some cock with those things to like sell anything.
Oh, they're grippy. They're grippy.
Are you touching my computer with your fucking feet? I don't care. It's fine.
Could type out.
I just like to know. It's not about is
it
wrong. It's like I need to know.
Give me the over under on how quickly you think I can type out Pornhub with my toes.
Was this girl fucking like legit posts weird? They're weird because they're not.
Who's weird?
They're not sexy. What? Not your toes, not your feet, not OnlyFans. I mean, the person, the girl. She's not a woman. She's a girl.
Oh, our former boss?
She's a fucking girl. She's not a woman.
Are we talking about a former boss?
Yeah, former boss. Post things that you can tell she had, or reposts from, or previews of another...
her content.
Of her content in Snapchat, which results to probably OnlyFans.
Are you still on her Snapchat?
No, I'm not. I was never on her fucking Snapchat.
Oh.
She posted a thing on her Facebook, and it was like... It just said, like... baby girl or baby on it, and it was like picture of her like looking slightly different than she did when she came in like all depressed at work and bearing through it, and was, to be honest, like not inspiring, but like
she knuckled down, right? Like,
knuckled down, was honest about her shit, and we could all talk about her or hint at things.
Dude, she was the biggest enabler for me. She's such an
enabler.
Dude, I showed up to work. It still do. Like, this hasn't changed, with the exception I don't show up to work drunk or high. Not really high now, but she, like, there's multiple times where I would, like, shut up and be like, yeah, I'm really hungover, like, I'm probably still drunk and high, and I really don't want to be here. And she's like, okay, well, great. Don't tell any of the kids that. It's like, okay, awesome. You know what you just did? You just gave me the seal of approval to do this all the time.
All the time, yeah.
And I'm going to exploit it because that's what I do.
An exploiter, a user. That's what your saint would want.
St. Isaac Jones.
That's fucking hilarious.
Batting 0 for 5.
You know, okay, I'm gonna say something. We're on this topic, sort of.
We've been on a roll. Let's just keep it rolling.
I mean, we talked about religion. We've talked about trans culture, people, what rights were.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about the complicated relationships certain groups have with like homosexuality, whether it's religions or ethnic groups or culture, I mean, I'm just gonna throw out one example.
Okay.
How does a religion that you got when you say, not you, but a person was like forced on them, they were converted, but they were probably the only people giving out food, and they're probably like, oh yeah, that sandwiches was made by God or whatever.
Yeah, that's
and they're like, now get on this boat, you know. And then it's like this religion gets passed down. It can be a saving grace, but it's also like can be.
It comes from a. It's tainted.
It comes from a dark place.
It's like you're giving them a handout, but it comes with strings attached.
And then buried within that religious credence or whatever
doctrine
is maybe a suggestion that it's not cool to be gay. And then you are now a part of a group. We're going to hypothetical you again. Not you, Patrice, obviously. But you, hypothetically you, are part of a group that is considered to be what they call an ethnic minority in a country. It's a large country that has a background of Christianity, Catholicism, etc.
Yeah.
And you identify as that group, but you also identify as this religion that was essentially Christianity was like not forced on you, but like introduced with an asterisk, at the very least. And you're putting what that teaches over your own identity that again you're borrowing from what they're telling you.
Yeah.
I have trouble.
It's sick.
I have trouble like wrapping my head around people that look, Kevin Durant made some certain statements lately. I don't know if you saw it, but he was basically saying it was like, yeah, you sucked that dick to Michael Rappaport, an actor who. Why did he post that? What does he gain from that? Can't you just have a fucking conversation with the guy?
And if you
he doesn't, you're tearing down this person that said he's a tool. Okay, Kevin Durant. I'll say it. Kevin Durant is kind of a tool.
He's a bit.
Most of these guys are tools.
Yeah.
And he's obviously a humongous tool. His apology was, "I'm sorry you had to see that." Not, "I'm sorry I said those things." It was insensitive to certain groups. Obviously, this was my misbegotten version of getting off with my friend or joking around. I need to reflect on that.
And need to reassess.
Please give me some time to do that, or just what I did was a lot of bullshit, but I'm more artful than that. But then again, I don't really get the opportunity to make apologies because I try not to say horrible fucking things about I don't know if he used slurs, but I know he got fined $50,000. I know it was the worst apology maybe I've ever seen because he went right into talking about his physical rehab right after that, like in the same press conference, and they let it happen because Kevin Durant, he's a darling, and why in this country of the grievance economy, why certain groups trump other groups. And why certain maybe there's one party that takes advantage of that grievance culture versus another. I'm not that smart. I don't really know for sure.
I'm not really pointing.
It just seems like that can be. I won't say which one it is.
But you can guess.
Yeah, you can guess. But obviously. And why do people identify with these groups that they don't fucking? It's like, why are you an other?
Because
you've been here your whole life. You're a Christian, and that's still the predominant. I mean, if you had to pull people deep from their soul, the predominant religion is agnosticism, if that's a religion.
Is what, narcissism?
No, yeah, also that.
Oh.
Agnosticism.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the only ism. That's what I think.
Most people
you don't strike me as an atheist. You don't have the confidence of one, anyways. If you are
but
one.
You can be an atheist and not have to be vocal and
in-your-face atheist. No, I'm it's like.
But then that's pretty much agnostic. It's like they're cousins, right?
One's a little more tolerant.
Agnostic is
one's accepting you.
Agnostic
you don't know,
is there's
but
no
it's probably not that.
Yeah, agnostic is there's no proof.
It's
so
you're probably not. I'm probably not what you are. That's cool. You are. I'll try not to shit on that.
Yeah.
Because I just don't see you shitting on me or.
I don't. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going to shit on you. I'll shit on the principle of your group and what it's.
Yeah. But also I guess to more explicitly state what I was. Dancing around.
I know what you're saying.
Not Kevin Duranting around. Why does a group of people that almost inherited this religious background from groups ancestors that were working without getting proper payment for that work that they were putting in?
Are you talking about slaves?
Yeah, how you can then turn around and not support gay people. I don't understand that.
I don't understand either.
That bothers me, and I put equal fault on the faith itself.
Yeah.
The people that push that faith on them initially, and the people that are exercising that to not fucking see how stupid and hypocritical that is.
It's fucking hypocritical.
It's fucking horrible. I think it was Martin Luther King Jr.'s niece was on Fox News. This was years ago, and she was talking about that she wasn't for. I think it was something about gay marriage or something. And she wasn't outright supporting it. I'm like, You know how you know who your fucking uncle was?
That's so stupid. Why would you be...
Martin Luther King Jr. It came out has had flaws. Like, was a flawed person.
Everyone's flawed.
Makes him... Honestly, like, things that I heard, like, that I can't, like, substantiate, but, like, just make him sound like a better human because he was complex. And when you have complexities and you choose to focus more on the
good, yeah, that means more.
It means more. That's why he's a better saint than
St. Isaac Jones.
He should be like hand in hand. I mean, if that's allowed in the faith, I
don't think so. I don't think because they're men and they're holding hands.
Like if we're getting, I feel like exactly. If we're getting not canceled, but like a quote, like, oh, you don't think this is like no, like these people can't think whatever they want. Like I'm saying, they flat out don't think that being gay is like okay.
No, yeah,
and that's like a choice. But behaviors are a choice. Like acting on it, acting on your that's not an impulse. Desires, like your deeply ingrained biological desires and beliefs. I believe that I'm gay or something. It was not me, but I mean, honestly, like I don't know if I'd have even more problems if I was. I probably would.
I probably would too.
You'd have a lot. We'd both have a lot of the guilt, I think, and have a lot. I know someone that struggles with accepting that part of himself, and therefore extrapolating it to accepting others that are. He's like, I don't even like really like them or something. Like, thank you for sharing that with me because
that's got to be so hard.
Yeah, it's fucking hard as shit.
Because then you're doing mental gymnastics around yourself, like. That's mind-blowing.
One of the biggest reasons that we should default to be more accepting, not tolerant, but full-on accepting of things, of people that have different belief systems or different biological imperatives or different concepts of who they are than you think they are without knowing anything about them. Like, it's because you know how fucking hard it is to be someone who doesn't have these challenges, and look at the fucking divorce rate amongst normcore people, like and all short. Now try being like
God damn it,
trans, being gay, being trans and gay. I mean, I don't even know enough about what letter it's supposed to be.
I don't either.
I know people are like, oh, you're insensitive. Like, no, I just don't. I'm
just not informed.
I'm sorry. I don't know because, and it's like ultimately, is this person going to spend that much time burrowing in my head? So they get everything right when I say, and am I going to be offended? No. So I assume that most people that get offended about certain things are getting offended on behalf of others.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it'd be like, dude or lady, or
but no one's asking you to get offended on the behalf of other people.
Yeah. And like, no one's asking you to like put in your dating profile that you're BLM or you're this and that. And it's like, yo, I'm trying to like.
Why did that have to become a norm?
A stamp. It's like, dude, I don't...
It's not what I'm looking for.
Put it on your fucking car. Like, this is a profile to say, like, hey, I want to meet somebody. Let's see what we have in common. Not like, this is what I stand for.
But that's where it
stops. That happened in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Not like, let me see a picture from 2012 where you went to Africa and, like, we're in the Peace Corps.
Cool.
That's cool. But that's intimidating in a good way. It's like, do I stand up to this where I'm at currently? Would we gel? And then you think about it. You look at it. It gives you something to think about. And you're like, fuck it, I'm a good person. I'll swipe right. Or like, you know what? Maybe our values might... Not
maybe
values,
I don't think I'm up to this.
Maybe where we're at right now
is a little different.
I'll find that impressive, but she won't find my shit impressive. And it's the right thing to be like, either swipe right and say, fuck it, or be like, you know what? I don't want to... nurture that feeling of inadequacy by hoping they like me.
By entertaining the thought that
and so you're like, no. And I've gone through all these manifestations, like,
totally,
and you have to do it in seconds.
But I'd much rather be doing that than be looking at profiles that I'm just like getting upset that I'm on this app, which is not the point.
And it's like, it's weird because the pandemic, like you're in a situation where when you go back to college, it'll hypothetically be in person, and you might be able to meet some people, but who the fuck knows, honestly? You might be working at a thing that you might be
I've entertained the thought that I'll go online, like, through the rest, just because, if I'm being completely honest, it's easier to cheat.
Yes. It's like, and it's like, what does meeting girls look like in the future when you're not in school, in person, or you're not like you're meeting them on your Zoom thing, and you're like, oh, I wonder if they have a boyfriend. Let me look it up. B.
Yeah, just B.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you've done it too. I would have done it.
Yeah.
I 100% would have done that.
I looked up. I found my art history professor.
You looked up your professor?
She's really hot.
Your current one?
Yeah.
Wait, she doesn't have a picture on her Zoom?
No, she does, but like I found her Facebook, like I found her private information. I doxed her.
Is that that's not doxing? That's exposing us to someone else for purpose of canceling.
I sent it to her and said if you don't.
I found you.
And if you don't give me an A, I'm gonna post a picture of poop on your profile.
She's like, it's art. I give you an A.
Is it spiral?
I'm determined to like.
Is it spirally or sludge?
Till I see you like physically break down before I hit the stop button. I'm just like so charged up. It had to be this delicious caffeine drink. It's called Bubbly Bounce.
I have noticed. I will say I typically yawn around like 35, 40 minutes in. How far in are we?
Is there another one?
I drank it.
You drank both of them? You drink all three of them? Did you drink three of them during this to keep up with my energy?
Yeah.
I'm amazing. Dude, I've also had 4 coffees aside from this. I got like 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes left in this.
You're also bipolar. And I'm also depressed and anxious.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, I
think I might have borderline personality disorder.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not that...
I don't...
hypomanic.
Hey, don't... No.
I found a way
I just put us on a pedestal together. Don't you dare...
There might be some, like, a Venn diagram or whatever. Yeah, okay, so here's on the Venn diagram, there's thing in the middle, like, oh, we have bouts of depression or, like, trouble fitting in or something. Except BPD people are trying to just, like, kill everyone in their circle, outside of their circle, and be like, because they can't fucking, like, cohabitate with people unless they get treatment.
I don't know. That can't be the only...
No, that's one manifestation of it. But look at what happened to Brandon Marshall, the football player. Yeah. He had like a domestic issue. I think it was a domestic violence charge or something like that. I don't know if there were actual charges pressed, but...
You probably punched a bitch. Gotcha.
Oh, God. But, like, and then he became an advocate. And, like, he wore the wrong cleats so that he'd intentionally get fined, and they'd match the fine and this and that. And, like, he turned his story into something, and that's why we know in a remotely positive light about these things. Otherwise,
that's really
cool. It's a serious issue that's, like, more self-destructive on average, I think I've heard, than bipolar disorder because of it's a more, like, sporadic but also cyclical behavior in bipolar disorder where people kind of avoid them. And therefore, their relationships maybe aren't as intense as with people with BPD have.
Oh. I don't know.
It's like, whoa, that guy's like out of control. I think I'm going to like... But he's not violent. And bipolar, like, there's some more self-violence, or if you looked it up, I don't know if
I have. And
What makes you think you have...
They might be... Well, one of the biggest features of borderline personality disorder is, like, depersonalization.
What does that mean in terms of the disorder, or if you will, or superpower?
What, like ramifications, or like
ramifications? Because bipolar disorder can be like a superpower in some aspects.
It kind of can be. So like so
it's something you can channel.
You can harness it.
And people can simulate it, but with drugs like caffeine or sex or like things like that.
Exactly.
That in moments they can sort of reach up to what it feels like to be like on
to an extent. I think that's a facet that it can, or like a river that it can
but with
follow.
The BPD, which is actually, you would think BPD is bipolar disorder, but bipolar is one word. It's like a hyphen. BPD is like, they need to like rebrand both of them. They're like, no, we're not like that because us don't do that. It's like,
well, it's
one cause against another. I told someone long ago that it's like, you're really competing against other charities. If you think about it, if you work for a charity,
you're trying to get the most funding for your charity. Fuck everyone else.
You're trying to.
You're only focusing
on this sort of cancer. Everything else doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Leukemia doesn't exist. AIDS doesn't exist. Fuck AIDS.
Yeah.
It's all about throat cancer.
Yeah.
It's all about this.
It's all about if you got smoke, baby.
It's all about tardive dyskinesia. Okay, motherfucker.
Wow. Do you think there's? I think a great business venture idea for us to build our resumes and to build our
please say time machine. Go ahead, continue.
Our build our experiences and our skills. We should start doing like Wedding Crashers, but we should jump from board to board of like cancer research, like research facilities and research boards and boards of funds and charities. And so take throat cancer, for example. Start hooking up with lobbyists within Big Tobacco and just start channeling and shoving cigarettes down people's throats to get more people throat cancer to get more research in. Yeah, and just keep doing that across the board. Jump from lung cancer.
Somewhere in there is brilliance. Somewhere in that muddled garbage ashtray. You're literally somewhere in the many butts.
There's something in there that's
in that tray. Is half a cigarette.
And you know it's
I want to smoke it.
And let's fucking get our buzz on, dude, and just take everyone down with us.
You know
what the easiest thing to blob you for would be?
What?
Hard drugs.
Yeah.
Because if I'm say I'm trying to sell you
hard drugs or against hard drugs?
4.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sell you. I'm trying to sell you drugs.
More.
I'm just gonna give you drugs. I'm not gonna sell you any, and then I don't have to sell you on drugs. Then you're just gonna want more, and you're gonna want other people to have drugs. Yeah.
It's like you get to dress up, you go out to name people you don't know, and they give you fucking
candy for free,
and they tell you how good you are.
Yeah, they say you look great,
and you look cool.
Yeah.
That's a really cool. That's a unicorn, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, why don't you undo that?
Here's some fucking candy.
Yeah.
And then that's what drugs are. That's what hard drugs are. It's
enjoy that candy.
Hey, you know what? It's cool that you're really curious about destroying your life. So here. You know what? Forget I said anything. Just try this.
I did. Drugs are not a 100% guarantee that they're going to destroy your life. They do change you, and then you destroy your life.
That's a good. We need to be lobbyists. Lobbyists,
dude. I think lobbyists are like the fucking scum of the earth.
Yeah, they are.
But there's actually. They're
necessary.
There's something attractive about that too.
Have you ever seen Thank You for Smoking?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, you love that movie. Yeah, Aaron Eckhart was great.
It's a great movie, great actor. But there's something attractive about this is my role. My role is to do whatever by whatever means necessary.
Character like that in the last project. He wasn't a lobbyist, but
that has to tax on you so much
for a nonprofit, making his own nonprofit.
Yeah,
and then he does some shady things while he goes through this transformation, and it's like it was so fun for us to come up with, and how easily my writing partner brought that out of this character, and then how easily I conformed to that as well, and pushed that narrative out there, and how easy it came to us. Yeah, well, I'm gonna take a little sippity this. I was like,
I did crack the bottle tap, so it is in the bottom of the can.
It's not blood. Is that blood?
It's
blood.
Blood. Is it blood?
No, it's not.
Oh my god!
It's just fascinating, that type of character. And it's like the slime and the drive and the skill and all the things that must go on underneath the surface. Do they think about does their guilt? There probably aren't a lot of Catholics or lapsed Catholics that are in that profession. So what is depersonalization?
Depersonalization is you lose a sense of self. Not necessarily lose, but you become. Take a picture, and it's really high resolution.
Yeah.
What depersonalization to me is, that picture starts to become more and more pixelated.
Okay.
And as it comes back into frame and resolution restores, it's like you're posing different.
Yeah.
Or you're, you have a different face or a different expression. And that it'll stay for a while. And there's no set rule as to how long that picture is going to stay in clear picture. It could change at any second. Typically doesn't, but it'll go through stages and patterns of this is how I'm feeling right now, and this is how I'm going to act around these certain people. And it's almost, I think, depersonalization and borderline personality sort of blends together with almost kind of Machiavellianism and narcissism and what's the other?
Sociopathy?
Yeah, psychopathy and sociopathy.
Okay. Because I think I've heard you say I'm probably a psychopath before.
Well, it's I think
I don't think, though.
I think psychopathic tendencies.
I don't know, man. Because...
I'm not even psychopath, maybe sociopath. I don't know if I'm charismatic to be a sociopath.
It's not the charisma part, it's the drive. Right? No, but I didn't know you when you were like a more high profile ish athlete
person.
No, athletic, like, because I get that part because I had that.
That was a large.
You're
part
a
of my
better
persona.
athlete than me. I'm like at your apex, and like you're probably taking a lull within your apex. Like,
oh yeah,
there's one butt cheek, and then there's a crack, and then there's the other butt cheek. You're in the crack, and on the other side of the crack is a lot of more juicy.
Yeah,
butt.
well, within the crack,
you might not go pro in something, but you're going to be a damn good
think about it,
player,
within,
coach, whatever you want to be.
Within the crack,
within the crevasse,
you have one cheek and you have the other cheek.
Yeah.
But within the crack, you have the curve of the cheek. You have taint. You have butthole. You have hair.
You're deep in your athletic taint right now.
I think I'm past taint. I think I'm past the taint.
Well, yeah, I saw some like decent maneuvering out there for someone with a fucked up.
But yeah, before I rolled my ankle.
Before you rolled your ankle in the dark.
Because it was dark.
Saving a ball while we're shooting baskets.
It wasn't. I wasn't really saving.
Closed.
It was just a step. It was because
I know it was instinctual.
It was because
it's good instincts. But it's
I'll reluctantly take that.
Yeah, but like so. Okay, so
just table it, goddammit, Patrick.
Yeah,
we get to my point.
You're not.
What times?
I don't care. Check your phone if you gotta go.
It's like 11.
We'll continue for a little bit longer.
I really have to pee.
Just pause it, then we'll pee. I'll pee too. Oh, you can't pause it right, you schlemiel. We're not done yet. We're pausing. Alright, so our bladders are now drained, and
our lungs are full.
His lungs full of vape, and I really feel like you're still not remotely a psychopath, because...
Okay, here's what I'm going to do to counter-debate you.
Okay,
I'm going to pull up
me on your psychopathy.
The traits of a psychopath. Or, should we do borderline personality disorder first?
Do borderline personality disorder, psychopath, sociopath, bipolar.
Traits of...
Oh, we're going to diagnose each other.
This is great.
Fuck you, dude. This is the DSM-6, motherfucker.
DSM-6. Patrick's coughing up Delta-8 and his lungs making him sick. Spit rhymes for days.
You're coughing on my screen. I just cleaned it. So kids aren't like, your computer's dirty. It's because I do dirty things with it. That's great radio. That's what we were always concerned with.
Unclear or shifting self-image.
Okay.
Got a lot of that.
Yeah, but you're also 25, 24.
Correct, but don't dilute my...
All right.
Yeah.
Do I do the counterpoint?
Yeah.
Your points? If I feel the need to.
Yes.
I totally feel the need to on that. Because you don't fully know what you want to do. You're 24, and you stopped recently. It's still recent. Like, it feels longer that you gave up alcohol.
No, I mean, it's extremely recent. It's under a year.
It's under a year. That's recent.
Yeah, it's recent as shit. Yeah.
And we're still in a pandemic. Yeah, we're working right now, for now, but... I mean, we're still in a weird situation, and it's just everything's weird. You've changed during a weird situation, and you're young, and you don't like. I don't think you had necessarily, besides playing soccer, like a concrete idea of I definitely want to be this or do that.
I did.
I did when I was 5, so I haven't never. I've only strayed from it a couple times with horrible results.
I mean, I for a long time, I don't know, man. I think for a long time I knew what I wanted to do, and that's like, yeah, the soccer aspect and that changing a little bit. Certainly,
the shifting self-image
shifts a little bit, but
it's from something.
I struggled with that prior to like the last 5 to 6 years.
Okay. Well, I know. It's just
I'm not jumping fully on board.
Yeah, I think 2/3 or 3/5, maybe a 3/5 compromise on that.
Maybe everyone likes a compromise.
It's such. Can you imagine being in that meeting? I'll give him 3/5.
Yeah, what the fuck? Who came?
Why? You're 3/5 of a human.
You came down to why? Why did it have to be 3/5?
I remember learning about that and being fascinated by the fraction.
Yeah, why 3/5?
Because I liked math and it was like, ooh, 3/5.
Why not?
Not like this is horrible and not shooting up my hand.
Why not fucking?
Why is humanity terrible?
why not like? What's a higher fraction numerically that's mathematically the same weight as 3/5? What like
that
5?
Sounds like
5,
it.
yeah,
7/9 or like
yeah, like
6/7
4/7 or something.
3/5.
Maybe it's the 3/5.
3/5.
Maybe they settled on it because it rolled off the tongue better.
Yeah, 3/5. Or
Hey,
they didn't do really advanced.
The compromise.
13/17.
13/17.
Yeah.
I say.
So I'm giving you a compromise on that. It's
okay.
Whatever. It's not a full because of your age and because you were on athletic track, and recent events have been everyone's been in that type of mind frame.
Yeah.
And you seemingly have done pretty well with it.
I think
which
I've
would
done okay
counteract
with it.
like the theory or the
diagnosis
that's so. But you don't have to have every one of these to qualify as one of the things.
Correct.
Kind of like having COVID.
Yeah, but if you want to get bingo.
Yeah. Mental health bingo.
And the best part about this is really to get a similar to the Saint Review Board, the BPD Review Board, they had fun with it. They said, okay, so yeah.
I looked up at all these things when I was going through something. I didn't know anything yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, on a similar note, I went through a phase where I thought I had schizophrenia, so it's okay.
It's okay because the other voice was like, "No, you're good."
Exactly.
You're fine.
Right? Like, hey, what's that guy telling you?
Carl was like,
hey, he's full of shit, man. Don't fucking listen.
Don't believe in that.
Hey, don't listen to Carl, man.
Let's go huff some paint.
Yeah. Speaking of huffing paint,
the
next one, mind you, this has a image of a wine glass and a wine bottle. Impulsive and self-destructing behavior. I hope you don't debate me on that.
There's an overlapper, though.
What do you mean overlap?
We'll get to that when we get to bipolar disorder and substance abuse.
Impulsive, yes.
Yeah.
Self-destructive behavior, yes.
Well, that's when I said the Venn diagram thing. That was a poorly done analogy.
Explosive anger.
Diarrhea. Diarrhea.
Explosive anger, I don't know. That comes...
I mean, I haven't seen it. Doesn't mean it's not there.
But I've raised a question to explosive anger. And it's not even necessarily to this, but anger in general, it's like, what is explosive? Can it be...
internal combustion where you just haven't snapped yet, but you will?
Or like it's going to build up over a long... It's going to build up over...
He's like, I believe more of you're talking about disorders when you're
wearing
that look.
Another thing that I think goes into this a little bit, and this is just a personal experience one, is I constantly change clothes. I constantly want to...
Okay.
I don't know. Okay. That's weird. But
Are
that
you
could just
fashion conscious, though?
Yeah. Okay, moving on from explosive anger.
I mean,
that's
a TBD because, and it has to show on some level with people that aren't your direct family members, because sometimes that brings out more charged emotions because it's safer.
Correct.
Because the fallout isn't necessarily going to be as bad.
And if there are episodes with that, they have to be even more over the top than what would be normally expected.
Because I had that.
Yeah.
So so far
you're right along. You're
2
with
for
me.
3. Yeah.
Fear of rejection or abandonment.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, fuck yeah, me too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I mean, you get the only. That's another argument for having pumping up your ambition to the whole is just it helps cut through fear of rejection and abandonment, because you're like, if you can get out there and be rejected more often than not, or do the rejecting more often than not,
if you can bust
you're not going to fear that as much. Yeah. You're actually start to be like, I'm so glad I've gone through this shit.
Exactly.
Because otherwise I would have the fear without the experience to know who I am in this context and stuff like that. So I try to intellectualize my jokes towards you. You gotta go for the whole, because I don't think you need a lot of sex. I just think you need more experience of quoting yourself before others, whether it's women that you're attracted to, people that you admire, or curious about a friend, something you can make friends with. It's like, you just have to have experience with it. Because you are going to get rejected.
Yeah, no,
and you're going to have to reject somebody, hypothetically.
Correct.
Hypothetically, there's someone beneath you that
Doug, stop. I'm going to stop you there. Stop you there.
Yeah, but it's like...
let's move on to the next one you said? Okay.
Yeah.
Feelings of emptiness.
Okay, I got that.
Yeah, me too.
I won't dispute on that. I think I'm emptier than you, but I feel like
maybe on a whole, but I think my peaks might
older.
My peaks might go lower.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
my dick might go lower.
Yeah, emptiness. I don't know.
Fine.
I think you have.
I'll give you emptiness. I'll give you emptiness if you give me the bigger dick.
I don't care if you have a bigger dick.
Okay,
you don't use it.
Then that's fine. Well, moving on. Unstable interpersonal relationships.
You just don't have a lot of them. That's not like.
Well, it's got okay. So if they're unstable, what's the next step after unstable? It dissolves. Through my own actions, and it could probably check other boxes as to reasons why, but I've lost a lot of relationships with a lot of people.
Like friends?
Yeah.
From what?
Lack of effort and choices and just a changing personality. It's almost like almost like intrinsic to like the disorder itself.
Can you connect those to any specific swings or like of your moods?
Not
or
really.
Or is it like my middle school friends didn't stay friends with me in high school? That's changing
not
of
like
the guard type
no.
shit.
I mean,
or college. Like
no.
I left there, or I went here, or like or are you thinking like I just didn't know how to manage a relationship with anyone at all?
No,
that's
and it's not.
Thing.
But it doesn't. Okay,
well,
it doesn't. Does it?
I'm not like low maintenance, dude. You do great. You do fine.
Thanks, man.
I'm like not that easy to appease. And
I'm not saying if I were to if a
you're not my boyfriend.
Well, what I'm saying is, if they made a law that said you had to choose one friend to marry right now, and you guys have to be gay and do butt stuff for the rest of your lives.
Yeah, I'd pick you.
I'm saying if I had to choose or I die, I might choose you.
I'd choose you.
I might choose you.
I know someone who probably gets better head than you because of your.
I don't know.
Fucking
you look like you could take it really well.
I could probably take it fine.
On the rare chance where we switch roles, because God knows...
You have nice long arms for the reach around,
God knows I'd be the bottom.
God only knows what to do without you.
So, checked. Mood swings. That's a little... I mean...
I have more of that than you.
I think you do,
you're
too.
Flatter. But you've also been... You've mostly been on medication that somewhat... It's at least somewhat working,
I think
right?
To be honest...
The whole time I've known you, so... I don't really know what
I have been on medication.
20-year-old Patrice was like, but I also know what I was like, and I don't think it would be very different.
I don't think.
So okay, well,
okay.
Yeah, that's the mood swings. I would agree that you maybe have that, but it's a little bit more internalized, or you're a little bit your period of being that up and down
is shorter than mine
because you were self-aware or maybe. You were made aware by family or something, like whatever happened, like it worked in that put you on a track that you find out these things about yourself earlier on, and you might think internally, oh, I'm so behind on something. Like this is what matters, and being able to talk about this, putting that out there for somebody in fucking Zamumba or whatever, like Zambia? Listening to it. No, not Zambia. I mean, there's got to be a place called Zamumba. I know I just pulled it out of my
and here's the best part is you didn't spell it, you just said it.
Say Zamumba.
So it could phonetically fit.
It's probably somewhere in the world.
That's an interesting thing I just thought of. You could get away. What if everything
was a thing? Have you ever thought that?
Everything was a thing?
Everything was a thing. Everything you've ever think in your fucked up brain is like once you vocalize it or like have a thought and you like put a period after the thought that it became a thing.
I want to see it'd be really interesting to see like an MRI brain scan readout of normal thinking or like just steady brain activity versus the brain activity at the moment that someone thought of a new idea or like invented something.
Mine would look like a penis, like becoming erect. I don't know what yours would be like, but I guarantee when I create something, oh Jesus, it's like a fucking penis.
That then has a circle with a line slash
like
through it diagonally, like no.
And the people are like, oh my god, he's a monster, and it goes
no.
And the circle's coming, and they're like, wait,
what is it?
Come back, and they're like.
Is he highlighting it?
He said no Nazis.
No Nazis.
He's brilliant.
Oh, what does it say?
He invented it.
Oh, hashtag. It's a hashtag. What is that? Hashtag and Frank. And then just hashtag. Oh, Barack Obama. He's great. Hashtag Prius. Oh, this brain activity.
Judas Priest.
I'm really lightheaded from over breathing for my impression. It might be the multiple rips of Delta 8 I'm taking.
Probably. Yeah, like mine would definitely be a penis becoming erect, like a new idea, and it would be
like
more boners than I really have. Mind boners are more frequent than my regular boners, I'm okay with that.
I'm seeing some development in the prime frontal cortex.
What we thought was massive developmental delay is actually original thought,
and
that takes
we see one
pupa stage.
One sphere
of 9 years.
One sphere is in the hippocampus. The other
we're just naming parts of the body.
The other circular. The other circular. The other circular spheres in the amygdala. And what appears to be a phallus is forming right in his adrenal gland. Now this... okay, so his brain activity looks like a penis. Ah, I see.
Yeah, I guarantee mine does.
Yeah, but it's got to be a small one.
Why? I tried to, Well, if it's... I have this intellect, and I fucking force it into scatological territory so often.
Dude, I know the most random shit about the most plethora number of things.
Because you watch a lot of Jeopardy, or are drawn to Jeopardy because you know a lot of shit, or you're like a lot of shit?
The latter.
Because I think it's really cool you watch Jeopardy with
I'm
parents.
really good at Jeopardy.
Right.
I'm like...
We should go on some form of quiz show together.
I've done the test now, so I'm waiting to hear back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, it's because... I think it's the Jeopardy test. I didn't know. I had to send a dick pic.
Yeah, you're going to be the one with Aaron Rodgers hosting, and you're like...
No.
And you're like, you're just staring at Aaron Rodgers, and you're like, you cost me money, motherfucker. And he's like in Dumb and Dumber, he drinks the pee bottle. Yeah, he's like... you got to practice being on camera, so we'll practice that.
But so I think...
what's the next thing on there? Is that all of them? Isn't there self-destructive tendencies or violent thoughts or anything like that on the list of BPD stuff? Do you just zone out? Are you farting right now? Are you okay? Here. What'd you do? Stop it! No dead air, you douche! Hey man, I performed improv against ketamine. I can handle this bullshit.
The thought literally crossed my mind. I go, oh, he put it back. Okay, well, what if I do it again? He's probably dealt with shit like this before.
Yeah, I've done this before.
All right, next up we have, we did self-harm and suicidal tendencies. I mean, I think, to be honest...
You didn't do that one, yeah?
No, I've never really self-harmed. I mean, I have, but not really.
Thoughts don't really...
Have you self-harmed?
No.
No.
Not anything like that. No. The way I said it...
Amateur!
I didn't say it I look down on it. I understand it because I have other impulses, and I do want sometimes to destroy myself or something. But I don't combine the self-destructive thoughts or really dark thoughts with the impulse.
Correct.
But I fear it.
Yes.
I'm aware of it, and I fear it, and that has a different effect ultimately than say somebody doing self-harm, cutting whatever. The thought's there, and it rips part of my mind out and my soul out every time I think it. Yeah. But I'm just so used to it that it's Not that it isn't that, but for me, it's become that.
Yeah, me too.
But I also do therapy and shit, and I can talk about that as a nonchalant thing, and they accept that because I'm telling the truth.
Exactly. And
I did intellectually things were good. I had a good week. I did well in a writing contest, or I had this and that. I had a good time with my family, my cat. Work was cool. My energy was good. I wanted to kill myself, but that was obviously the outlier, and therefore I can identify that as something that doesn't fit with the situation.
Yeah, with everything else.
Yeah, and so it's so weird to get to a point in your process, if you will, your mental process, your therapy, where you're I wanted to I had a good day, and then I wanted to fucking drive off into an abyss.
Yeah.
And explode. And I had a dream about the apocalypse, and I woke up with an erection. And I skipped, and what do you tell the therapist? Everything but the erection, because that takes it in an uncomfortable or different direction. And so you are self-editing a little bit, and when you're doing the self-editing, you're self-nurturing, because you're wait a minute.
I self-edit a lot. Actually, I learned about self-editing in rehab, and it was in group, and we were talking, and everyone was like, "Yeah, man, you self-edit all the time," and I was like, "Oh, fuck, cool."
Yeah,
and I was like, "All right." I mean, I like thought about it. I was like, "Yeah, dude, but like, so what? What I mean,
well, that goes back to the identity,
and it means I'm self-aware.
You're aware. You're aware that if you put out things exactly as they were, that things as they were without even being emphasized would sound fucked up or like be like non-desirable to people that you want to desire you in some fashion, right? And then
so what I end up
if
doing
you were like
is,
really emphasizing it, like almost embellishing things that already fucked up, and you've judged yourself, you've judged your thoughts, which is worse than judging yourself because they're just your thoughts. A lot of times, not necessarily actions. Because you could be like, I shouldn't have ran my car in that tree when I was high on ketamine. And then
which I haven't done.
And it burned it.
I haven't.
No,
with the puppy thing, no, and the ketamine thing didn't happen. I was drunk and I ran into a mailbox and it knocked off my car side mirror. It wasn't ketamine.
If it's just a thought, that's all it was, and you could still talk about it. But like, I had some disturbing thoughts, and I'm okay now. And they might, the therapist, depending on your relationship with them or their skill or your skill at getting therapized. Which is a fucking thing. Okay, sidebar. If you're in therapy or entering therapy or considering money, you have to be a fucking bomb-ass patient. You have to be good at it. Don't suck at it. Do the fucking work so you can eventually get to a point where you can be like, what I'm doing is like shaving off things that you don't need to get, because you only have 45, 50 minutes an hour.
Yeah.
Why are you talking about some bullshit?
No, you need to get to the fucking real shit. Get to the good shit.
You like either focus on your positive goals or focus on, something that disturbed you or set you back. But you gotta, it's a delicate dance. You gotta fucking jab.
It is a dance, and if you don't know how to dance, right? You take dance lessons.
Yeah.
If you go to one dance lesson, do you know how to dance?
No,
not yet.
You got to go more.
You got to go to the next
dance
one.
with different partners.
You know what?
It doesn't mean you failed. It means maybe
together
you didn't fucking vibe.
Yeah, maybe your partner doesn't show up, right? Or maybe your partner dies.
It's like Several Lines Playbook. It's about mental health. It's
that was the best fucking thing to relate that to.
Poor example of mental health because
poor example of mental health, but best example to relate it to dancing and mental health.
Her situation. Jennifer Lawrence character was kind of some type of. I've read that it was they were trying to BPD.
It was like codependent as well.
She was independent, but she just fucked a lot of guys, and then other people were like looking down on her for that.
I forgot.
But he was like cool about it.
Yeah,
and he didn't focus on that because he was messed up and his own way more messed up. She had some issues or whatever.
What happened with him? Did he try and kill himself?
No, he beat up his wife's lover or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And he had his character had bipolar disorder, and but it was like a specific type. It was like type 1, I think.
Yeah.
Type 2 was like it's different.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that. Were there more things about your?
No,
she had BPD apparently. If you read about that movie, which is a fine movie, but it's not amazing. It's not accurate. It's fine.
Loss of touch with reality is the last one.
Have you had that before? Because I feel like that's a huge one.
I have.
Where is the destruction of other people and like violence and stuff like that? Because I've read
explosive anger,
okay,
self-harm and suicidal tendencies.
Those are
impulsive and self-destructing behavior.
Huh?
We already went over that one.
Because you mostly hear that they're tougher to have any form of relationship with because they have difficult relationships with themselves.
Ooh, okay.
That doesn't mean it's bad.
So there's.
It's just it's a challenge to be with somebody in a certain context if they have this this disorder or this issue and they're not A, aware of it, or B, working on it. Right? And even if you're working on it, it sounds like that can be tougher in some ways than bipolar. But other ways maybe not. Maybe it's easier. Who knows? They both... I'm not going to say suck.
They do.
But they're tough. They're tough.
They are tough.
It doesn't mean it always sucks.
Any mental diagnosis
sometimes
is tough.
It's okay or pretty good. But schizophrenia, I'm sorry, but I'd rather have these two than schizophrenia. Because do you even know you have schizophrenia?
No.
You don't, like...
Even if someone with a diagnosis of schizophrenia.
Yeah, and little parts of... I don't know if you felt this, because you mentioned, I think, was it off mic, that you're like, maybe I had that, and you looked it up, or was it just a moment ago and I just forgot?
Well, I don't know. To be honest, I've totally chilled off the last 2 minutes.
Yeah. like there's certain elements that I feel like I've borrowed from schizophrenia before. Like when I mentioned that I had the
I stopped by the party and
the car when I checked my I did I tell you this?
That's more OCD.
I checked for a car bomb. But I was like, someone maybe could have, hypothetically.
Yeah, but that's
it's
that's
going home
a
and
quick
it's dark
episode
in the room.
of paranoid schizophrenia.
Yeah, and exactly. But you're borrowing little nuggets once in a while from it, and there's certain overlaps.
And so that becomes
because the mind isn't a clear cut thing. Every human mind is different.
Every human mind is different. We aren't cookie cutters.
Different fucking functionality,
and we don't fuck each other's brothers.
Look at bipolar.
So I found something else this graphic can help people with BPD identify their strengths.
Ooh. Well, first you got to identify that you do have BPD.
Great curiosity. There's one on here that's great, and it's going to be, I'm going to say it last, and then
so I can make fun of it.
No.
You're going to trap
And then
me.
I'm going to go into song, and then I'm going to end the episode.
Oh, well, we have to talk about my thing, too. So maybe do the BPD, bipolar first, so I can give a couple examples. Only because we mentioned it, I don't want to, we've gone so in depth that's like, we gotta come, right? We both have to come.
What if I already came already?
That's fine. No one expects you to last that long. Look it up. No, look it up.
Cut it!
No, I'm not cutting it. Look it up.
Cut it!
Look it up. Look it up.
Look it up and we'll end on your... Let the record show that Patrice is being held against his will with a dick held to his face.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll just jump straight to it. One of the...
No, go to bipolar disorder and then end with your strengths.
Okay, wait.
I want to end on your strengths.
So what are we going to...
It's all about Patrice.
It is. It's always about me. What am I going to?
Bipolar disorder. And what is a different... Look, some people might be listening and like, well, this guy, whatever he's saying, he has it. But why? Why does he have it? What is it?
So they want to...
What is it about?
Okay.
And I already know what my strengths are.
Okay. So I'll say, what is bipolar disorder?
Yeah, because bipolar strengths is like if you can harness the up into realistic, energetic action,
it can be a good thing.
It's you like a fucking superhero that's aware that he has kryptonite, and the kryptonite is always inside of him, and you have to be careful.
Could you tell me what bipolar disorder is? It's a disorder associated with episodes of mood swings, ranging from depressive lows to manic highs.
baby.
The exact cause of bipolar disorder isn't known, but a combination of genetics, environment, and altered brain structure and chemistry may play a role.
There's definitely a genetic component.
It's also called manic depression. If you don't get this, you'll get an infection. Maybe SARS, maybe COVID, maybe HIV. Come play around with me, and
his passive aggression.
Yes.
What else has it got?
Very common. More than 3 million cases per year
in America.
Yes.
So that's less than a
percent. Well, this is Google, and so I mean maybe Google's
Bing was probably puts at a more realistic 6.2%.
Shout out Bing.
Bing raising that bar for them BPDs.
It says requires a medical diagnosis.
Unfortunately, does it say there that it takes up to a decade to diagnose it? Because that's true. Go out and get screened. It's a good time to get screened, if you know what I mean. Because we're in a pandemic. Can't get worse. Except that, guess what? It can get worse if you have bipolar disorder and you don't know it. You're fucked. So go out and find out if you've got that thing that we're talking about.
If you got it, go get it. If you don't, go get it. If you won't,
get a check and tell everybody, but don't tell them right away. Tell them individually and tell them, just so you know, I have this, because you don't want somebody that's not cool on your team.
No, it's not, because that's really just not cool.
And it's just mean. If they turn their back on you It's not about you. It's about them and their ability.
And they're selfish.
And they're selfish. And their self-image.
They're like bitchy and
you don't want. But don't go out and put it on like shout it from the rooftops, because you're gonna get a incongruous response to how people really feel.
Correct.
They're just like, oh, that person's like really showy.
Yeah, they're just gonna like knee jerk to it. They're not gonna.
Then this is like you're at a shitty party and it's just you and white walls and like one folding table, and it's all the people and it's all the people that put on their virtual signaling on their dating profiles, and that's all you have left to talk to, and you're also manic and depressed at the same time, and you're rapid cycling.
If this isn't the like cornerstone of like, we should be featured on like a mental health weekly podcast.
Intervention.
And featured in our spotlight this week is schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and and other BPD. Mental. This sentence is right.
I feel like it's a terribly named thing, and it needs to be rebranded.
Borderline personality disorder. Maybe it's like
it's less common than it's like less than 0.5%, right? Because ours is like 2/3%. I say ours, me, as in the royal R's, like all of the people that have bipolar disorder. And by the way, it's okay. Okay. If you're listening and you're like, wow, this is really interesting. This is really interesting, but I don't have this. I don't know what's going on. I don't really relate to that.
Yeah.
Guess what? You don't have to like people that have an illness of any sort. You don't have to like someone that has cancer.
You can hate them. You can
actively hate people that have cancer.
I think you might be an asshole.
You probably have things that you need to look at yourself if you actively like hate somebody.
Yeah. See,
in general,
you're nicer. You're just.
And if you hate them because they have cancer, well, that sucks for you. That is a form of like you probably deserve.
Well, yeah, but also maybe you got raped by someone that had cancer.
Oh, right? God damn it! And you just it's like we went the furthest ever without.
And you just associate. Like you just start really having misconstrued association.
He's screwing up. He's having a dissociation right now. And that's okay because we are deep, dark friends.
So this graphic can help people with BPD.
Yeah, I was fine with that.
Being bold and courageous, speaking your mind.
You speak your mind?
I do. Immense passion, loyalty, and determination.
I think you have courageousness. I don't know, boldness.
I'm passion. I've got some passion.
What was the second thing?
Immense passion, loyalty, and determination.
You're loyal.
I'm loyal. I'm very loyal.
How determined are you?
That loyalty.
I think that fluctuates.
That loyalty doesn't go out to a lot of people. Is the problem?
That's not a problem.
Or is the caveat?
That's a good thing. You shouldn't be loyal to people that don't deserve loyalty. Are you serious?
Fuck them. Great appreciation for life's beauty. 100%.
I think you have better appreciation than I have, but you've also done psychedelics, and you're younger.
Psychedelics help.
So I feel like you're less.
That's one.
You're less burned out from time, or like not knowing that you were have certain predispositions. You're more self-aware. I mean, I was self-aware, but if you have a prevailing condition and you have no fucking clue about it, because the system and various other systems have failed you.
That's not a fault of your own.
No, it's not your own fault, but like I'm just saying you have not a head start might be the wrong word, but like an advantage of an earlier awareness and action paired with that awareness. And that's fucking awesome.
It is.
And so I try to like channel my whatever is experience. I won't say wisdom because it's not all wise, but experience into a younger form to watch it blossom into a flower.
Hopefully, right?
And I can smell it.
Hopefully you don't see it derail or weather.
Then I'd be like, on to the next one.
And get raped. Right?
Oh, God.
Great curiosity.
You got curiosity?
Yeah, like for
Is it great?
For knowledge, yeah.
Oh, we were talking about Jeopardy. Yeah. Okay.
So I have a great curiosity for knowledge. The stuff's interesting.
And you like being in school for the most part. You seem open-minded and like.
And I do speak my mind when I do seek knowledge, and I find out it's like I like calling stuff. I like calling stuff for what it is.
Yeah.
Whether I should or shouldn't, and whether there's a filter attached, is a different story.
I have a better filter than you, but I also
okay. Is it good or bad to have a filter? No, it's like I'm in control.
I'm in control. I'm in control of this or this writing thing or this in a conversation. I think I'm more Machiavellian than you are in terms of like I have an agenda when I talk or like this and that and I feel you're more earnest in that. I have a good heart, but I'm not, like, my interactions aren't entirely earnest a lot of times. Yeah. And, like, so when you say...
Mine aren't either, but I don't let people know that.
But when you say you're like, I have psychopath tendencies, like, well, then what does that make me?
I'm like a better psychopath.
A much better psychopath.
I think... Do you think you could kill someone and get away with it?
Yes.
Yeah, I do too.
100%.
I think that's... Do you think you would kill someone, could get away with it, and not feel guilty about it?
No. Do you?
Nah, maybe. I don't know.
I feel guilty of the thought. I'm sure you do too.
I don't think so.
But have I had this thought? I won't admit to that right now.
No.
A different episode and make it the entire crux of the episode.
Yeah, right.
To think like, someone in Zabula wants to hear about my thoughts about, ramming my car into strangers. There was a good Bill Burr bit.
Dude, that feels like the easiest
about
thing to
this,
do.
like the difference between a rational person and
oh
my god,
I think it's a
great bit, great comedian,
fantastic bit,
great bit, and
it's like it's so lucid.
The right types of minds can immediately relate to that, and I felt heard and accepted when I heard that. Because it's like, oh my god, of course someone would think about that. Mm-hmm. And I don't even watch a lot of stuff.
And I don't either.
I feel fortunate to have stumbled on things I do enjoy.
And that's cool. And you're not going to know you enjoy those things unless you listen to stuff. It doesn't have to be comedy, but
and sometimes
when you connect with something and you're like, okay, yeah, I like what you're saying.
I have a good basis of not necessarily like influences, but like things that I've enjoyed that I don't necessarily try to emulate, or like copy or whatever, but I like what they did, and that makes me know that I need to do it my way, but with an understanding of things that actually work, what makes them work, how can I have that some of the structure elements in my own stuff.
That's what you're more.
One of the reasons I don't watch a lot of stuff right now or read a lot of stuff or listen to anything is because
you don't want.
I don't care about their influence. I just feel like it's a waste of fucking time for me to do that.
Okay. Because I'm
supposed to be destroying and pillaging everyone's ears and eyes.
Yeah.
I want to own every ounce of written type word or fucking motion picture scene.
Newspaper mogul.
Or I know. I'm like a Hearst. Like secretly a Hearst. Like I even have the childhood like memories of Citizen
you're
Kane.
More like Hertz, like the rent-a-car company.
Hey, I know Enterprise has this.
Hutz.
You can be your own boss thing. We don't have that.
We don't have
you
that.
just work for me. I'm Hutz.
I'm saying, you rent us for fucking 4 days or 5 days.
It's so good, baby.
It's gonna hurt.
It's so good. It's so good.
Fucking, we should get Hertz as a sponsor.
Yeah, they got to do something.
Hertz
like Avis is sitting there like languishing, and Hertz is like ready for that next great podcast. Is somehow 2 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's make a commitment that like once a month we do like at least a 2-hour episode.
The deep dive.
And we do something like this. And
I fucking love doing it. And
I think this is the most. Yeah, this is in my opinion the most organic. It's the most interesting and the most organic.
And the organic was we've had I don't know how many
infectious excitement
ounces of
infectious excitement.
That's in yours too?
Yeah.
I can only be around people.
BBD looks like infectious excitement.
I feel like I have to be around people that are either brilliant or super kind or children that because they don't know anything yet that the world is fucking horrible.
All of those things.
Yeah. A cat, a dog.
Okay.
Or like
no, but I
like a close like relative that nurtured me through some stage.
I'm not that.
It's like
why can't I be that?
Or people that have the same affliction as me, but yet are still pushing on and positive. Because I've been to like a couple support groups here and there, and you've been through your own thing with rehab and stuff. But like, and I that's why I was like, I have experience with that, Patrice, and so I know like if you don't feel like you're getting a lot out of it, that's the whole fucking point, and you should fucking not go to those things.
Yeah,
and find the people that accepted you in every stage. They've at least enough accepted you. Strengthen your relations with those people. Don't let your fucking shit get dragged down by people you think are like they're going through their own horrific narrative, and you're just a character in their horrific narrative.
Yeah, and I don't want to be.
If you want,
that.
Exactly.
Get me out of that.
Get me out of that shit. If you want that, you go become a counselor.
Yeah.
Start off volunteering. Do something positive. See if you can tolerate it, and just fucking do that and make that a dedication. Don't half-ass it. No half measures on mental health. Bye.
I got wait.
Okay. Yeah. we're gonna give our shout outs to our not our shout outs.
So the best thing. Well, no plugs. We're ending. This is a no plug episode.
No plug episode.
So
DegenerateNation@gmail.com if you want to get in touch with us.
Okay, quick book of faces. Degeneration Show. Degeneration.
Yeah, we're not putting our Patreon on this.
No.
You can email us.
So the best.
DegenerateNation at gmail.com. Would love to hear from you, even if it's like, yo, why'd you talk about that thing? That's weird, or like that was too much. That was a British fart. I don't fucking care.
No,
tell me about it.
No,
review us. I don't care what you say. Just like
say something nice. Give us your money and suck our cocks.
Yeah.
The best thing about people with bipolar disorder. Sorry. Borderline personality disorder. One of your strengths is you got a whole lot of love. I got a whole lot of love. I got a lot of love.
I'm farting right now. Listen, we gotta get all the way to 2 hours. I want it to be over 2 hours. We got 14 seconds.
9 seconds till this episode's over. We're gonna end it on this fucking horrible song. 2 seconds till this episode's over.
You can't even fucking
fucking
process. That was
dude. You missed it too. You're too busy farting. End this shit.
Farted really good.
Peace out. Bye. I'm going home to jerk off.